In the finals, we have the choice. We'll play first. Definitely a keep. Drag Invocation, not the sexiest card for this hand, but Elvish Visionary is. Elvish Visionary is like exactly what this hand wants. Evolving Wilds getting black. Alright. First black deck we faced? Believe it is. Alright. Next turn's an important turn. At least he doesn't have a 2-drop. Land here would be nice. There it is. Not even going to complain about it not being a blue mana. Land, I'll take. So, more land? How about more land? Deadbridge Shaman. Alright. It's acceptable. I kind of don't even want to use a Wild Instincts on it. So, I don't think I will. I guess I could. Having to discard from it I don't like, though. Then again, I guess if he has removal, well, we'll see. Cobble El Bruta. Guess we're going to Instincts that, huh? Yeah, it's Instincts that. It's not even worth attacking with the Recluse, though. I probably would have, to be honest, that wouldn't have been a great trade for me. I'm glad he's not trading, but that would not have been a great one for me. Aspiring Aeronaut's a good play here, though, so let's just do that and then pass. We're just a land away from a nice looking Jiraga Invocation. What do we got? Priest of the Blood Right. That one's pretty good. Guess we just claustrophobia that demon. But he's got the sack outlet. So I guess we just take this. Unfortunately, Invocation now... Ooh. Whirler Oak's pretty sexy. I still think we want a claustrophobia, though. Well, let me think about this, actually. If my opponent has Chandra's Fury, I guess it's pretty good against our Whirler Rogue. If I play Whirler Rogue, though, Dragon Invocation gets pretty insane. I'm trying to measure the chances of our opponent having Chandra's Fury. I think it's actually decent, so I'm just going to claustrophobia this demon. So we're going to go ahead and swing with our flyers. Leave back the Recluse and the Visionary. We're going to take the Husk again. Like, if I play Whirler Rogue and he Chandra's Furies that turn, I take 9 damage at least? Probably more because of the Husk. I would take like 13 damage. Chandra's Fury's a common. This actually prevents a pretty good amount of damage. Plus my opponent did not sacrifice the Priest, which I guess he should have done on the last turn on that attack. I think he figured this would be better fodder for Nantuko Husk later. Alright. It's actually not that terrible, to tell the truth. I have a blocker for Deadbridge Shaman unless he uses removal. Maybe he uses Chandra's Fury to get in. This would be a... He's probably pretty strongly motivated, and I would be okay with that. If he has it, I'd like it to use it here. And then get in for 7, so I would take 11 damage. I could tolerate that, and still Whirler Rogue would potentially bring us back into this. So if he has Chandra's Fury, I want him to slam it. Alright, I feel like he would have used it there, right? Don't you think? Getting in for 11 just seems so important. What are we discarding? Probably, I guess, Wild Instincts. I do like a good Wild Instincts, but I think everything else we have is just vastly superior, rather. So if I draw land now, I kind of want to play the Scab Goliath. Well, guess that we bash in and play Whirler Rogue. And hope he doesn't have that pesky Chandra's Fury. I mean, thankfully, Active Treason isn't really that good against us. He steals a Whirler Rogue. Yeah, I guess Active Treason would be way more brutal against us with Scab Goliath, wouldn't it? So, as long as he doesn't have Chandra's Fury, I feel pretty good. But then again, we still do need to draw a land here. If we draw a land, we just straight up have lethal with Drog Invocation and Flyers. I mean, he definitely's got the Steel and Sack deck. Like, Fiery Conclusion, double land, Tuco Husk. It's one of those sort of no doubt about it situations. That's not even the foil Fiery Conclusion. Scary. Alright. You still kill him to Drog Invocation. Still kill him to Drog Invocation. No cards left in hand, which is a good sign for us. Did not quite get it, but that's okay. I guess we go Ataxes and play a Disciple for tradesies. All right. Alright, so we block the 2/2 to at least make him sacrifice the demon. That way we're not dead next turn, so we just need a land here. Didn't get it, but disperse helps. Yeah, guess that's all we really need, huh? I think we bounce the husk. Granted, we can't block the brute, but we don't die to any. It's combat, so we can't equip. We take 3. Even if he has a Titan strength, I guess he kills us with Titan strength plus Chandra's Fury. Oh, yeah, but obviously one of the cards I bounced was a Nantuko Husk, so that's not even a possibility. Yeah. All right. Well, never got to play our Dragon Invocation, but I definitely have to assume our opponent's got some active treasons in there. Probably Enthralling Victor, which is also really good against us. Priest of the Bloodright's a good one. Opponent's deck looks good, no doubt. So the question is, do I want to... I don't really want to bring in Guardian Automaton. The problem with Guardian Automaton in this match is that it doesn't block Nantuko Husk very well. But neither does Recluse, to be honest. I could bring in Negate. All we saw that it counters currently is... Well, Fiery Conclusion's a good one to counter, because he has to sack as an additional cost. That is pretty brutal. I think it's a fairly safe assumption that our opponent's got active treason. I kind of want to bring in Negate, but all we saw was... Well, we didn't just see creatures. We saw Fiery Conclusion, we saw Weight of the Underworld. Alright, let's bring in 1 Negate. And Disperse versus Titanic Growth. Disperse is going to be better against active treason because I can just bounce my guy in response to the act. Or bounce his guy that can sacrifice. Although I guess that doesn't necessarily work if he can replay his guy that sacrifices. Or has a Fiery Conclusion. But being able to bounce your guy in response, I think is actually pretty good to an active treason. Maybe I cut the Titanic Growth. Like I said, I kind of want to keep all my creatures for the double Scab Goliath, and just because I think we're going to need the creatures. Let's cut Titanic Growth. I think it's a great card, but I think that we're more likely to win via negating an active treason or dispersing a guy that's getting active treason rather than having like a combat trick pump spell. Although if I block and he sacks a guy, having a Titanic Growth is really nice for that too. But then again, if he sacks a guy, bouncing it is really good. So I guess that's kind of a moot point. Okay, let's just try this. Yeah, it's a keep all right. Not a busted hand, but a fine one. Leaf Gilder's a good draw. So now we can go Leaf Gilder Aeronaut. It's pretty good, actually. Or Leaf Gilder Force Mage. I think Aeronaut is currently the plan. Aeronaut's great. Husk protection, too. Oof. Acolyte of the Inferno. That's a good card. Now I kind of want to play the Recluse, since it actually blocks that guy, and I kind of want to stop that guy ASAP. Alright. And yes, we're blocking Acolyte. I'm not going to play around. Fiery Impulse. It's more important that I make this trade. Looks like he doesn't want to make the trade, though. Wild Instincts is pretty good here. I think we probably just want to eat the Acolyte. Problem is we can't attack, but I still think it's the right choice. I mean, clearly I'm not attacking, but I think getting rid of Acolyte is pretty important, since that card is really nasty. Right, Dragon Fodder, 2 cards left in our opponent's hand. I think we can pull this out. It's just a matter of well-timed disperse. And profitable attacks and blocks. All right, Husk number 2, sure. So 5 mana at our disposal. Let's go. I can actually go Orchard Spirit and leave up Disperse. The problem is I don't have great attacks. Or great blocks either, I guess, with the Husks. Disperse is pretty good here. I think I do Aeronaut because it makes the best use of mana. So now I guess I want to... I basically want to be able to play my Scab Goliath coming up here. Let's see how he attacks. So I think I might block with Recluse and Aeronaut on a Husk. Or try to. Ooh, Read the Bone's a good one for him. With his current board state, especially. So, like, he attacks with Husks. I double block a Husk. Maybe he sacks both Goblins to kill both my guys. I draw a land. I go Scab Goliath. Which I think is pretty good, unless... Like, basically, I just want him to sack some stuff. I want him to get stuff off the board here. And even if he just does one, it's okay. If he does both, it's still okay. Alright, he just did one, which is, like I said, that's okay. We can't play our Scab Goliath yet, but... I understand we traded a Recluse for a token, but... it's... in my mind, it's setting up for our Scab Goliath, so I think it's actually okay. Visionary is actually a pretty solid draw. All right. I think we go Force Mage here. I think I just swing Thopter. So my plan is to block Visionary, Aeronaut on a Husk, and a Force Mage on the other Husk. And ideally next turn play a Scab Goliath, although that gives him an opportunity to active Treason. Alright. Well, we've got Disperse for tokens, so that's actually not the worst. Oh, this is pretty interesting. Okay. So I think we actually go... Guess we go like... Guess we just go like that. Not the best, not the worst. We can play our Scab Goliath now. I almost want to... Not even almost. I really just want to play around. No. I think I gotta take care of the demon. I mean, I wish I had another land. Because active treason is just brutal. But I think we're like slightly ahead on the race. Active treason's kind of the death knell, but I was kind of hoping he'd play it. No. One card left. Gotta hope that's not an active treason. I mean, Grant, we haven't seen an active treason yet, which is pretty good. Is he gonna make us discard Scab Goliath? Should have kept that land. I think we take 4, 6, 8. We could take 10 here if we don't block. It's pretty bad. I think we block here and hope he doesn't sack the dead bridge. Alright, it's pretty awful. Should have pocketed my land. Or played the dead bridge, but it's just not how I was anticipating this going down, unfortunately. I don't like getting outvalued by black-red, but he did have the Read the Bones, and he drew into some pretty good cards. Not playing the Scab Goliath, I think, might be the death of us. Well, Naturalist is pretty good. How do we race? I can't figure out how to race. Alright. I think I play Naturalist and pass. I hate how much that goblin token is doing for him right now. It's pretty insane. Yeah, unfortunately, claustrophobia is really bad against our opponent, too. And I guess it does seem like negate's pretty bad. We can counter dragon fodder, read the bones. Well, I guess we can counter unholy hunger. All right. Guess the negate stays in. We're in really bad shape now. So we block like this. Which obviously I don't like, but... yeah. Got picked apart by our opponent, sadly. Yeah, so we got outvalued by our opponent. I still think I guess negate is pretty good, isn't it? We saw no active treasons, too. I'm actually surprised we lost, considering we saw no active treasons. I mean, granted, we're well past the point of no return, but a sack deck with no... Alright, negate definitely looked bad there, I gotta admit. Alright, let's see here. On the play again. I still think negate's okay. We definitely has enough spells where negate can do something. I wish I had more. I guess I just have to play Scab Goliath and hope he doesn't have active treason since we didn't see it in games 1 or 2. Like I said, it certainly doesn't mean he doesn't have it. So many of our creatures are just so awful against Nantuko Husk. Once again, though, Farika's Disciple, looking like the MVP of this matchup, since it can not only block Nantuko Husk, but he has to sack just to kill it. Yeah, this card is so underrated. So good in this matchup. I guess we keep it like this. Claustrophobia is bad in this matchup, but I still kind of need it. I mean, I guess I just cast it on a husk. Alright, let's try this again. Do I want Guardians? Because it blocks better than a Recluse. It does kind of block well. But what would I take out? Like a Force Mage? I kind of like Force Mage. Could take out a Recluse for Guardians. It seems like a better card than Guardian or Recluse, since he would have to sack 2 guys. All right, let's do that. I don't like it as much on the play, but Recluse just seems like a really bad card in this matchup. Although I guess double blocking a Boggart Brute is not bad. Holds back Dragon Fodder. All right, maybe I take it back. Well, I guess we keep. I'm hoping to see a green land. If we don't, we're in a little bit of trouble, but we have claustrophobia for the first husk at least. If we draw a green land, this hand looks amazing. Especially if it's our first draw. We get to go Leaf Gilder into Aeronaut into Naturalist, which is pretty insane. Alright, opponent mulls to 6 and keeps. Not a snap keep at 6, I might add, but definitely a keep. Alright. Same as before. We're definitely going to need a green mana to win this game. All right. Dragon fodder is pretty good. If we get green mana now, I'll play the Timberpack Wolf pretty clearly. There we go. So we play Wolf. Next turn we get Aeronaut. Even if he's got Husk, we've got the out for it. Deadbridge Shaman. Also pretty good, but I think we just play Aeronaut and we're fine. Invocation's not bad. I mean, I can pretty comfortably trade a Deadbridge Shaman for the worst card in my hand, which might be the Leaf Gilder now, but I mean, currently I need that double green. It also does fuel my Scab Goliath, which I like. I think I still block. Like I said, I like the Leaf Gilder, but basically it's like I traded a Deadbridge Shaman for a Leaf Gilder and half an Aeronaut, which I don't think is that bad. 3 cards left in my opponent's hand. Wild Instincts is pretty sick here. Hope he doesn't have Fiery Impulse. I mean, we haven't seen it yet. Alright. Could have attacked with both, I guess. Yeah, probably should have. Puts us slightly ahead on the El Raso. Rita Bones is still good. Shadows of the Past with 2 creatures in graveyard. Well, it's a good win con. Gotta give him that. Starfish is a good draw, though. Let's just bash in. I don't mind if he trades that, yeah. That's fine. If he plays Demon, at least we got the Claustrophobia. Husk, I am going to Claustrophobia that. It's just too annoying not to. And I kind of don't mind this, actually. Spirit's not bad either, but we're just going to lock this guy down. He wants to put it in his yard anyway, so he's going to sack it to itself. Fiery Conclusion. All right. It's pretty good. Double Scry. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, I mean, we've got the... I guess technically we have the out, don't we? And we're still far enough ahead on the race where we keep attacking. Yeah, we're 1 land away from taking care of Shadows of the Past, so it seems irrelevant to stay back. I guess I still get to block the 2 power guy, which is good. I didn't even check what my opponent scryed, if not anything. Put a card on top. So we're just looking for a land here. Even if my opponent's last card is a Unholy Hunger, I mean, it kind of sucks because he gains life, but it's fine. We're going to take out the Shadows of the Past. It's like much more realistic, I think, that he wins off that rather than a Sword of the Animist. So he slams Unholy Hunger on Naturalist, I think. Or Fire Fiend Elemental. Oh, that's interesting. Let me think if we even want to make this trade. I'm not entirely convinced I do. I think I'd take it. I'm gonna Starfish though. Now, let's bottom that. Oh wait, we would have gotten Invocation. Damn it, didn't think about that. That's all right. Now it's like we set up for Invocation a little bit better, maybe, possibly, or I play Wild Instincts and just wreck my opponent. Oh wait, I didn't think about that either, did I? All right, play the Orchard Spirit. Oh no, Dragon fodder for days. Oh, that one's pretty good. He's not re-equipping, which is also good. Gotta admit, I'm pretty surprised to see the Act of Treason with one card left in hand. This is challenging. This is challenging. I think I disperse my Conclave Naturalist instead of the Fire Fiend Elementalist. Plays around Fiery Conclusion slightly better. It also lets me blow up the Sword of the Animist. But I have to decide how I'm going to block. I think I do disperse my own guy, though. I just feel like if his last card's Fiery Conclusion or something along those lines. Is his last card... Is his last card Flamed Javelin? I want to say no, but I think I go damage prevention anyway, because if I draw my 6th land from the Starfish, I have lethal anyway, so I think we just block here. And hopefully his last card is just a creature that can't block these. And we basically looking for a land. All right. Wow. That was an absurd draft. All right. I think I hamstrung myself, as I'm sure commenters will say, when I bottomed that land, because I'm trying to think how different things would have been if I had cast Duraga Invocation 2 turns earlier. I can't believe he had Chandra's Fury in his deck after not seeing it all of those games, too. And the fact that I would have died had I blocked a Goblin token with that Sigiled Starfish, too. Like, some things worked out despite kind of errors on my part. Definite errors on my part. Bottoming the land to not get the 6th land to cast the Dragon Invocation. It would have let me... He had... Did he only have 1 token, or did he have 2 tokens at the time? I honestly can't remember. I want to say he had 2 untapped tokens. So my invocation would have eaten those tokens and dealt some damage to him. Well, I ended up getting it in the end. I don't think I made the best choices to get there, but I'm still happy to get a victory, and I hope you enjoyed it. The next draft will be another 8-4. We'll see you then.